Well, off to the Phantom Zone with me, then.
I've lost the Omega Hedron. I must be sent to the Phantom Zone.
Yeah. He just goes, to Dagobah I must go.
Yeah,
And leaves.
about as clunky.
Adventure runs in the family. Supergirl, coming this summer.
Hey, Phelan. You ready to talk about Supergirl?
Yup. This is what I...
If you had A&W, then we'd have the two biggest sponsors.
Yeah. I'm afraid I don't have any A&W right now, just a small Frosted Flakes box.
You'd be super into the Popeyes, though, right?
Yeah, sure.
Maybe the fries. I bet you'd like the fries. Are you into biscuits? Do you like biscuits at all?
Sure.
What about A&W? How's that rank on the root beer scale?
They're among the tops.
What about the cream soda? I heard that was pretty good.
Yeah, I don't know where I heard that, but I think someone won some contest for like a year's supply of it or something.
It was pretty good.
You better win, because I love that cream soda. Hey, bring me back one of those T-shirts, huh?
Today, we watched Supergirl 1984. Make sure there's no glare on that. Or maybe I want the glare on it. It looks good.
Ew. Whoa.
This was the first time that either of us watched Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
It had a lot of promoted stuff in it. They built a fake Popeyes specifically for this film.
I'll see you later at Popeyes then, okay?
A&W, Popeyes, Frosted Flakes. What am I forgetting?
Tylenol was quite prevalent on the billboard they kept showing. You might need some Tylenol to get through this movie.
Holy shit, it was so fucking long.
That's some good synergy, you know? I think the Tylenol might have been the most effective one.
That's why they made the movie like it is. It explains everything.
Like, what is going on? Did they explain it? What's good? Ah!
Can you describe the plot of Supergirl 1984?
Kara runs away to Earth to not do the thing she's supposed to be doing, and then goes to a boarding school. Meanwhile, a witch with world domination plans tries to seduce a landscaper who's not into her.
Bottoms up.
And that's about as much as the movie gives us. We had to piece together a lot of stuff from Superman lore that we already know. Mm-hmm. But, like, this is 1984. You know, the Superman movie was one of the first big blockbuster superhero movies, so people were familiar with Superman, but it wasn't like this was, like, hugely common knowledge like it is now, everything about what's going on with Superman and his cousin. And even then, I was lost on parts of it. You were like, oh, is this supposed to be that other dimensional Krypton or whatever? What is it, Kandor?
Yeah.
Endor?
Yeah,
Throw an Endor in
Endor
here?
got thrown in there.
I am the ultimate siren of Endor.
When was Supergirl? It's 84, so I guess Return of the Jedi came out the year before that.
Maybe that was just supposed to be funny, throwing an Endor in there. They still had Wilford Brimley in their future.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Okay, now let's power up this old tin can.
It starts out and they're in inner space, not outer space.
We are in inner space.
Inner space? Like, I don't know what that is.
everything that we know from the Superman movies with Christopher Reeve is that he's the last of his kind. That's his whole story, and like he has to speak to his parents through the Fortress of Solitude or whatever.
The never-ending Jor-El voicemail crap he left in the fortress.
Yeah, we definitely got like more Jor-El than we ever wanted.
You must never promote Popeyes. Leave that to your cousin.
Who wants onion rings?
Yeah, here.
Thanks.
Some French fries?
French fries are mine.
Chicken for myself?
We see all of these other Kryptonians in like the plastic wrap cone or something. They're hanging out there just doing Kryptonian stuff, and it's just like, oh, I guess there's a bunch of other Kryptonians alive. Hey, it's me, Kara. I'm Superman's cousin. It's cool that stuff that my cousin's doing on Earth as Superman, and like they know all of this stuff.
Earth? You mean where my cousin went?
She never went to go visit him, but she seems to be super into Earth culture.
She was an Earthaboo.
Yeah, she's an Earthaboo.
Saturn is. Is that further away than Earth?
She goes in and meets up with Zalton? Is that his name?
Zoltar.
Zoltar?
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 Zordon.
Zoltar?
Zordon?
Zoltar?
Calgon?
Kara, you must find some more attitude before you can fight. Oh, breaking up, Zordon.
Yeah. Speaking of big floating heads, he's kind of the Jor-El of this movie. He's the one to do the voiceover and inspire her, played by Peter O'Toole. He's making some sort of like art project or something that's like a tree from Earth.
A tree. What is a tree?
Kara comes over to him and she's just like, hey, what the fuck you doing over here? What's that? He's like, I'm making a tree. And he's got like this little blown glass instrument, and he's like, tell you a little secret, Kara. I also stole one of the power sources for our planet. Which is this little glowing ball. And she's like, cool. And he's like, I can make things come to life with this or something. It's magic. I don't know.
He says he just took the power source thing, though, for inspiration.
For inspiration.
That's it. This is very important to this movie, that he did this very dumb thing for no reason whatsoever.
You lunatic!
This is one of our power sources from the planet. Shh, don't tell anyone. Cool, I won't. And that's when, like, her parents walk over, like, doop de doop doop, what's going on here? And he hides it as he's talking to them. Kara is drawing like a dragonfly with the little blown glass instrument, and he kicks it over to her. She starts playing with it and then makes a big dragonfly. And for someone who doesn't know what a bra is later, she knows what a dragonfly looks like despite never having been on Earth.
They're very loose with what Kara does and doesn't know about Earth as she goes along here. It's like, I do not understand this. What is a handshake? And then it's like marriage. Oh yeah, I already know about Earth marriage and all this. Like, they could have marriage on Krypton. I guess they do have a similar structure in that way. But it's like a bunch of things she seems to immediately get. And then, oh, this one thing. Well, we want her to have an alien moment. So she's like, what is this? Do not understand.
Look at that dingleberry.
What's a dingleberry?
Comes to life, and then it flies immediately right through their tarp, and they're like, we're idiots! And then they start to get sucked into inner space. Why is this power source not secured somewhere, like, at all times? Like, it shouldn't be like, yeah, it's super important, but yeah, you can take it out on loan if you want some inspiration in making a tree.
No, he borrowed it. He took it without permission. He had to sneak in and grab it.
It shouldn't be possible, that's what I'm saying.
He seemed to be kind of well off, higher up, but like, why?
But Zoltar, you founded this city. It's yours.
But I think the movies have established that like the Kryptonians are like dumber than hell.
Yeah, they deserve to die. Like, they have no survival instincts. Like, after this crap happens with their tarp ripping, Zoltar's like, well, off to the Phantom Zone with me, then.
I've lost the Omega Hedron. I must be sent to the Phantom Zone.
Yeah, he just goes, to Dagobah I must go.
Yeah,
and leaves.
That is clunky. Like, why? Why would this be the thing that happens? Don't they need you? They could probably use your help here in finding another power source or something so they all don't die. No, I'm just gonna banish myself to jail. Peace out.
And then they walk over there and they're like, good going, Zoltar, you fucking idiot. You fuckhead. You screwed us. We're gonna die now. And he's like, yeah, I guess I'll banish myself to the Phantom Zone or whatever. Meanwhile, Kara, like, wanders over to this spaceship that he just happened to have open over there. Like, yeah, maybe I'll travel a little bit for a while.
Zip, zap, and I'm gone.
Gets in there to zoom off to Earth.
Yeah, it's like, it seems like she has nothing with her. She just takes off in this thing. Then all of a sudden she has her Supergirl outfit, of course.
She found it when she was flying through a bottle of Orbits.
Yeah. Very good. Good effects. I guess that's what happens when you leave inner space.
Did you not study six-dimensional geometry at school? Do they not teach you anything anymore?
Things just sort of happen in this movie. And then they're just like, yeah, sure, why not? She just keeps meeting all of the people from Superman's life, just coincidentally. She meets Lois Lane's sister, Lucy Lane.
Clark Kent's your cousin you're putting me on. Do I know? Does my sister know him?
Jimmy Olsen, who just happens to be there carrying a camera at all times and yet never using it for anything.
That's Clark Kent's cousin?
Who's Clark Kent?
And she finds, like, Superman posters.
He's a real character. A real hunk.
A couple of truckers who show up and they're like, hey, you're like Superman, huh? You big Superman fan?
You're, Superman's best friend, huh?
No. His cousin.
Like, one of these guys is played by Matt Frewer. His greatest roles. And
as A&W trucker rapist.
He's got sponsorship on his shirt. It's like, I bet A&W must have loved that sponsorship placement.
They're like, A&W, what do you think of that scene, huh?
Like, you get the feeling they didn't like A&W that much? Like, yeah, thanks for your money, but like, we're gonna put your shirt on a rapey guy and then we're gonna smash one of your vending machines later.
What did A&W do to deserve this treatment? They paid them good money. Maybe some money. Yeah. Maybe not good money.
Maybe not enough money.
They didn't pay him Popeyes money is the thing. Popeyes actually told them put A&W in here and destroy them. They had a real rivalry going on at the time.
Superman has indeed embarked on a special peace-seeking mission to a galaxy scientists estimate may be several 100 trillion light years from our own.
Very early on, we hear on a radio that's like, oh, Superman is 70 trillion miles away or something at some intergalactic peace conference or some crap. Yeah, there we go. That's why you won't be seeing him, except in poster form.
That's why he can't save the day, because he'd probably do a much better job of things.
What's a dingleberry?
Yeah, Kara is so relaxed about her mission here, even though her family back at that Krypton inner space village is about to die without their magic glow ball power source.
Oh yeah. She comes to Earth and then she like sees these girls at a school, like a private school. They're playing some sort of sport thing and she's like, aha, this is the disguise for me. But there's no reason ever established in this movie why she needs an Earth persona.
Oh, by the way, she's an orphan. But don't let it play on your sympathies.
All this does is slow her down because she goes around taking classes and dinking around in her dorm room and stuff. She doesn't live on Earth. It's not like the Clark Kent Superman situation where this is his home. She's on a mission which is supposedly on a time crunch here. So, like, every time you see her dinking around, just soaking things in for no reason, you're like, wow, she really doesn't care about her family or friends, does she?
The main villain of this film, let's talk about Selena for a little bit. So, she's a witch.
I'm no angel.
And she's dating a warlock, but she's like a small town carny witch or something. Like she lives in a haunted house.
Big aspirations, but very little on execution.
Yeah. Oh, immediately they're at a picnic. Like they're on like a tiger skin picnic with like a whole ass pineapple, and her and her fiance Nigel are like hanging out, and she's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna rule the world someday. Yeah, I'm gonna conquer Earth.
Such a pretty world. I can't wait until it's all mine.
it's super confusing first because we don't even know she's a witch. They just kind of like throw in Nigel casually talking about, oh yeah, like get like a severed head and stick some beans in it for an invisibility spell. And we're like, what? I guess she's a witch?
I'm sorry, is this something that we're supposed to know? What they're talking about with the beans in the eyes?
Yeah.
Take 5 black beans on the head of a dead man. Place 1 bean in his mouth, 2 beans in his eyes, then...
Nigel, enough.
Little bean head invisibility spell.
You know how that goes. And then the magic ball of plot devices falls down and lands like in their cheese dip.
Yeah, Faye Dunaway grabs it too, and like she doesn't even wipe it off, and then just like starts spinning around in her hand, like, man, that's getting cheese dip everywhere.
She instantly knows that this is some magic thing and what to do with it, which I don't even know why it would be connected to magic. And some comic nerd's gonna come in here and they're gonna be like, actually, here's why. Why would the thing that powered their planet tie into magic at all if they're weak to it? But I guess, I don't know, the kryptonite weakens them and that's what their planet's made of, right? So I don't even fucking know how these Kryptonians live.
I think it does nothing to them on the red sun, but
Oh, the red sun, yeah.
No, the red sun.
Oh, good, yeah. It all makes sense now.
But yeah, she immediately takes this opportunity to be like, I'm leaving you, Nigel. I don't need you anymore because I got a magic ball from the sky.
She hasn't even seen it do anything but like glow, and she's like, bye. Sister's doing it for themselves. And she goes in and she starts running the car without the keys, takes off without him. At that point you think, oh, she's just left him. And apparently this is a situation where like he's like a sugar daddy warlock to her, like she's engaged to him but she's not really into him. It's just because he's more powerful. But now she's like, I got mine, see ya. Goes to her stupid like haunted house train home to go meet with her girlfriend who she sat on the side.
I'll make everybody love me.
Oh, no chance. You're an awful person, honey, remember? Forget it.
Yeah, they live together in this haunted house attraction.
Oh, they were 100% fucking though.
Yeah.
They were together.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way. Even though they keep pretending they're straight. But it's like, after she comes home, she's like, oh yeah, I know we have all these bills, power and all that. We see later too, even though they've shut the park down for the moment, they still have like everything in the theme park running, because at one point a guy just goes through the haunted house attraction and everything like is lit up and making noises. It's like, no wonder they have power bill issues.
She goes home and then she's just like, yeah, they shut our hot water off again. It's like, who hooked up hot water to their haunted train attraction? You don't live inside the attractions if you're running a park.
Yeah, because we see in their living area, like, I guess the haunted house attraction runs right through where they've made their home at. So I'm like, how did this work before this?
That doesn't even match her gimmick. Like, what does a haunted train have to do with witchcraft?
Nonsense.
I'm considering nothing less than world domination.
Oh, I bet they're in for it now, eh?
So she's like, don't worry, I'm gonna take over the world now, because I got my magic ball.
They're like, you can't even take over your mortgage. you need to think a little bit lower before you get to this world taking over thing.
My bills are over with. I got a glowing ball.
She's putting a lot of faith into this thing.
She puts together like a big party with all of her like witch buddies or something. Nigel is there for some reason. They never explain why he's back. I guess because he didn't know he was broken up with. He thought she just took off without him.
Well, even though she said, I don't need you anymore.
I've just outgrown you, Nigel.
And he's like, who are all these people? And she's like, this is my army of the night.
These are my foot soldiers, Nigel. My army of the night.
And they never come back. She never uses them at all. Like, it's completely dropped.
Well, like, Nigel hits on one of them and then she makes her eat a scorpion or something. So maybe all her friends were like, oh, she's kind of a dick. Let's never go over to Selena's again.
I would take over the world. Wait, where's my army of the night? They've taken off on me.
You keep changing our food into things just because you're petty and us. We hate you.
Supergirl doesn't even know about the existence of Selena or even really intersect with anything that she's doing until about an hour into this 2-hour-long movie. Coincidentally, Nigel the Warlock teaches computers at the school.
Yeah, he math and computers, apparently, because at one point Lucy calls him their math teacher.
Did that ever come up? They're like, you ever met his fiancée? She lives in a haunted train attraction. It says she's a witch.
I thought that was going to play into something, too, the fact that this Warlock was teaching at the school, but it's mostly incidental.
No. Nothing connects at all. I think it's just to pretend that these stories have anything to do with each other for the longest time. For whatever reason, Selena and Bianca, that's the name of her assistant / girlfriend, they're driving along, and then Bianca's like, look at that hottie doing landscaping. I'm gonna copy down the number, and then Selena's like, no, I want the boy now.
Then this is now her main plot.
Her main plot is she wants to fuck a landscaper and is really bad at it.
He's cute. Oh, no.
How you doing?
Whoa.
Oh, my God.
What?
Yeah, I'll bring that.
Oh, God, that's awful.
So when she gets back home, she's like, I'm gonna cast a love spell so that this landscaper will fall in love with me.
I'll power it up with ball.
With balls. So she like casts this spell by putting a spider in a walnut.
Yeah.
And then she calls him over to do some landscaping, and she pulls like a Mrs. Robinson. Like she's like, hello. Welcome to my train car house.
His name's Ethan, right?
Yeah.
It's amusing how uninterested in her he is.
All right. And then she's like, oh, while you're here, we should get to know each other. Do you want a beer? And yeah, all right. It's not like he doesn't know that she's hitting on him. Like, he knows that. And she's just like, oh, you have to get home to your wife? And he's just like, oh, no, I enjoy the single lifestyle. Just tell her you have a wife. Just, like, get her to back off. She's not being subtle about this.
I'm a lifelong bachelor.
Yeah, what if he was gay? She gets him to drink this beer. He's all, like, dazed, like, and he passes out, which is another recurring thing in this movie. He gets knocked out so much.
Yeah, it's almost like Lex Luthor on Smallville amounts of getting knocked out.
Smallville's like, hold my beer.
Yeah. Michael Rosenbaum getting his Smallville script. Lex gets knocked out. There it is.
Well,
don't know what I expected.
Here's my letter of resignation.
Yeah. What? You're leaving? Why? We were just about to do something. Yeah, sure you are. Please come back for the finale, please.
I promise there will be a worthwhile payoff.
No.
Oh, God, that's awful.
Anyway, so this guy, right, this landscaper, he's like, I passed out. And then she gets distracted by her fiance who's come back in his, like, tracksuit.
This is a leisure suit.
While she's talking to him, the landscaper wakes up and wanders off in a daze into the, like, haunted train thing that's still running. She's all mad about this, and she's like, oh no, the first person that he looks at, he's gonna fall in love with forever, so I have to stop him. And so he wanders off, like, miles and miles away. Somehow they weren't able to get to him before then.
Because they just sit there watching him forever instead of trying to do anything.
It's like we're watching a scene out of Weekend at Bernie's 2. Like, he's the zombified, like, voodoo Bernie wandering around.
Yeah. We see him, like, he's wandering down a crowded street, bunch of people in cars yelling at him. We're supposed to believe he didn't look at any of them?
No, he never looks at anyone during this entire ordeal. He's wandering into traffic. Supergirl, as Linda Lee, she's with her friends at Popeyes. Here's where all the Popeyes comes together. I gotta get my Popeyes at the ready.
Yeah, yeah, Popeyes.
Yeah, Popeyes.
Have you seen this Jimmy Olsen idiot? He has a camera around his neck and never uses it.
Jimmy Olsen, reporter.
Hi, Jimmy Olsen, photographer.
During the course of this, Selena's like, I know how to get him back. I'm gonna make a backhoe come to life and then attack him.
Yeah, it's a real killdozer.
So it starts chasing after him, and it's ruining everything on that street. There's a wedding going on, apparently, across from Popeyes at the time. It's going toward a gas station. Someone leaves the gas down. The chaos is going on. Kara comes out, And she's like, oh no, I gotta save the day. And she decides this is the time she needs to change in the bathroom.
Well, it takes her a long time of destruction before she even decides to do this. She's there.
Oh, excuse me, I'm in a rush. I know the feeling.
We know that she can magically make clothes appear because they take painstaking care to do at least 3 clothes transition shots. She sees all this destruction going on, and this is like the big action set piece of the movie. I think this is like the biggest moment. Even when she's like fighting monsters and stuff, I don't think it gets nearly as much time and effort put into
costly.
this big street. Yeah, and costly. Lucy Lane comes in and she like jumps into the machine, and then she gets knocked out, and then she breaks the front of it off, and she's like, good luck down there, I got this guy. Woo!
That was terrible. And we see Jimmy Olsen just standing there in front of Popeyes, like, camera around his neck.
Like, did you take any pictures, Jimmy? Oh, I'm just here to be photographer by aesthetics only.
Yeah. I don't actually know how to use this.
I don't know what universe this is, like how this fits in with the Christopher Reeve stuff, having like Jimmy Olsen be buddies with these teenagers. It's at this moment that the landscaper opens his eyes and he sees Linda and he falls in love, and Selena's mad about it because she wants him to fall in love with her.
No! No!
This is the whole reason she's mad at her and wants to fight her, because she wants to screw this landscaper she just thought was hot. She doesn't know him.
That her
She just
friend
saw
thought
him.
was hot, and then she jumped on.
And then she wanted to jump on that as like a pissing contest with her assistant / girlfriend. They got some weird stuff going on in the bedroom with these two.
Yeah.
And that's the whole plot of the movie. Like, she's fucking with her because she's mad because she wants to get with the landscaper, who Kara doesn't even know before this. She meets him when he falls in love with the spell, which is weird to set up a love interest that's magically induced.
All I'm saying is you can't go nuts over a landscape guy and a teenager in a blue suit.
The friend does have a funny line at one point pointing out how bad the plot is. You know, like, why are you spending all your time trying to get a landscaper and you're mad at some girl who dresses in blue?
You don't have to tell it like it is, Bianca.
Weren't we taking over the world or something?
She waits until the 11th hour to try and take over the world. She's mad at her because of the landscaper thing, so she sends like a storm and an invisible monster her way, because they gotta save on the budget somewhere.
Yeah, because we needed the Killdozer sequence. That can have money put into it, but supposedly a bigger threat with an actual monster. Nah, it's invisible. Save some money on that.
She gets rid of it very easily after it smashes her into the A&W machine.
Yeah. I also didn't understand how she just absorbed a bunch of lightning into her street lamp pole and then just shoots it at the invisible monster and very easily kills it. It's like, what? Can Kryptonians do that? Clark, why don't you do that?
Oh my god.
She should just punch that den mother like into the atmosphere or something and be like, oh yeah, I have no reason to be having this cover at all. I don't need this. I don't need to waste my time on these idiots.
Geez, another barfing you student. They're really scraping the bottom of the barrel these days.
I will say this, I did like the wire work in this movie. At the beginning when she's flying around, she spends her sweet time just like, whee!
Yeah.
She's supposed to be saving her planet or something.
Yeah, we didn't need quite as many blue screenshots of her just flying around, accomplishing nothing. But yeah, some of the wire work flying shots looked pretty good.
And they were like, I think they were complicated setups.
Probably.
You could see like the stunt woman flying around, and they had to have like a really big rig because they're very wide shots too. What ends up leading them to the merry-go-round?
She goes there because her bracelet starts lighting up. And she's like, oh yeah,
Right.
why I came to Earth in the first place. I guess I should look for that ball again.
And that's when Landscaper guy shows up. Like, he's like all lovey-dovey. And
And he's
giving her, like,
stalking her
flowers.
apparently to have found her here.
Hello.
And that's when Selena shows up to knock him out. And then she does like this spell where she's like stretching. Like it's just like a bunch of her in a row. I'm like, why didn't she just fly over her? And then she does fly over her. It's like, so what was the point of that?
I like first too, she like sped the ride up and like she just leaves. Like it's another like bye Lucy Lane you can die moment with him. It's like,
yeah.
All right, well I'm gonna get off the ride and leave Ethan there to die.
As she should.
Yeah.
Hello.
She traps Selena and then just picks up the whole ass seat and takes off with him. She could have set him down at any point. Like, yeah. she was far enough away.
She flies over the city and doesn't drop him off anywhere.
Yeah. She takes him to a beach and then he's hit in the head with a coconut.
She like breaks it open, starts feeding him coconut milk for some reason.
How does she know there's stuff in the coconut or that this is something that humans consume?
Yeah. What if you just start choking on it?
She's gonna leave him on the beach. And he's like, wait, I gotta go find Linda. And she's like, wait, Linda's fine. And then they argue for like 10 years, even though she could have just left like several times over.
They kiss and then he goes, Linda? Wait a second, you do have the same face.
Wait a minute, you just have brown hair. That's the only difference. Did she leave him behind or did he like go like, hey, don't do that? And then she took him with her.
Selena warps him to her.
Oh, right, when they're kissing. He jump cuts out of there with Hollywood magic.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, now he would be my boyfriend. So she teleports him out.
If she can do that, why did she waste all the time with the killdozer and everything else and watching him stagger around the street for like 10 minutes?
Why is so much of this movie dedicated to Landscaper? I just don't understand why he's so important.
He's not. He's utterly unimportant.
I think maybe if we're gonna try and give the movie some credit, I think the reason she couldn't do this before now is she is slowly getting more powerful.
Getting more ball strength.
She's getting more ball strength, as indicated by the fact the ball and the container are slowly growing for no particular reason. Like in size?
It doesn't seem to make much sense. She also doesn't seem to know what she's doing half the time with the ball, because the first time they put him up on their mirror television, they're like, what? How'd that happen?
Yeah, she just thinks it's a TV. What a dummy.
Oh, the cable's out.
Supergirl shows up to rescue him, and then she gets put in a glass bottle and then sent into the Phantom Zone.
Why does Selena know what the Phantom Zone is or how to trap Kara in it?
She knows it by name. She's like, how do you kill someone in the Phantom Zone? How does she know anything about the Phantom Zone? How does she know anything about anything?
Like, the only way I could see it making any amount of sense is if somehow she was getting info from the ball, but they never establish anything like that going on.
It doesn't make sense to me.
But she gets blasted to the Phantom Zone, and there she meets fan favorite Zaltar. He's back!
Zaltar!
Yeah, he's getting drunk on Windex or something.
He's like, you know, after that really dumb thing I did, I resigned myself to death in the Phantom Zone. Hey, how about we don't do that though? Maybe we could actually help out with this whole power source situation. Yeah, I guess we could take that vortex thing. Let's do it.
It's alright too, because all the bad guys there are over the hill.
The criminals, the corrupt, the evil, they're here, over the hill there.
Yeah, they're just over the hill over there. We won't see them.
It's cheaper that way.
This goes on for a million years of just cutting back and forth between them trying to get out of this vortex thing, and then Selena taking over just the town.
All she does is really make a mountain.
It's a mountain, Lucy, isn't it?
She puts her little castle up on a giant hill she creates. And then Lucy Lane and a few people, Jimmy Olsen too, are annoyed. And they have anti-Selena signs.
We want Selena out!
The protest, but we don't like you making mountains appear out of nowhere. Did she even take this town over? Did she just make this mountain and people are like, boo?
She wanted to take over the world. She couldn't take over bumblefuck Illinois. She's like, yeah, I've got this whole town, and they're like, we're gonna protest you, and they're like, oh yeah, what if we throw you in the back of a van and don't shut the doors? And they're like, I don't know what to do, man. We're stuck in a van with the doors open.
Jimmy and Lucy are so dumb. Like, no one's even watching them. They just leave them there, and you see the gaping open door, and they're like, shuts us up.
Who would be watching them? The Army of the Night?
My Army of the Night.
The landscaper guy is also zombified again, so he's like, I'm your boy toy. Blah, I'm the Dracula for some reason. I'm Disco Dracula.
Yeah, Disco
Dracula.
He's definitely ready for the discotheque at this point in the movie.
They're hanging out in like her palace.
They start watching the Phantom Zone.
The Phantom Zone channel.
Yeah. That's all they do most of the movie. Selena just watches what's going on with either the landscaper or Kara/Linda.
She is a real reader of pulses, isn't she?
Yeah.
What's going on? I will get them with Goldar.
Let's shoot some fireballs at them.
Oh, right, yeah. She's like, I don't want them to get out. I'm going to throw these fireballs at them. The fireballs don't really do that much, though, do they? They're just sort of like inconvenienced a little bit.
I am with you.
It's very good. They have this like touching moment and then whoosh.
Yeah. She's like, I need you with me. He goes, I am with you in death. Whee!
He died as he lived, very stupidly.
Like imagining Zaltar as he's getting flushed. He's like, remember me for my trees and not my crappy tarps windows. Almost doomed us all.
Don't remember me for that time I stole our secondary power source and fucked over our planet, okay?
Don't know why I did that. If we just had real windows too, it wouldn't have been able to be sucked out that easily.
She flies back and she's like, that was fucked up, but at least coming back from the Phantom Zone fixed all of my hair and my wounds, and I'm fine. I'm cleaned up, I'm good.
They should have had like Mr. Clean product placement after she came out of the Phantom Zone. Oh, clean like that. Thanks, Mr. Clean.
Is that when she summons the monster from the ball thing?
Yeah.
Up here! There's like a big monster, and then it grabs her on a blue screen, and then stretches her.
Yeah, stretches her
stretches
footage.
her blue screen.
Yeah. Stretch the footage, stretch it!
Landscaper helps her out though. He kind of breaks out of his spell and then kicks the statue or does something with it with the little container, and that helps her escape. Oh, also because she hears the words of Zaltar.
Yeah.
Saying, don't fuck up like me.
Yeah, don't get flushed down the toilet.
Don't get flushed down. Have you tried not being flushed?
Maybe you should go back and tell them we shouldn't throw ourselves in the Phantom Zone for making a little mistake.
Well, that wasn't a little mistake.
Yeah, but I mean, it was a series of dumb events that led to that. Like, if he had just played around with the ball, I guess it would have been okay.
There was no reason for this. He fucked up.
No.
He deserved everything he got.
Yeah, everyone's an idiot. Like, all Kryptons are stupid.
Put that on a pillow. All Kryptons are stupid. People are going to be in the comments like, oh, not all Kryptons.
Yeah. Zor-El was actually very smart in the comics. I love when he becomes a Terminator Superman or something.
This is our universe, and you've destroyed it with a game, a childish game.
Nigel says something like, hey, you need to reflect her magic back at her, and then Kara becomes the Tasmanian devil and spins around Selena, and then somehow that makes the monster attacking her instead.
Bianca gets caught up in all this. She was like, I'm a head out. And then they get sucked into the mirror going, for a long time.
There's a reverse shot of the mirror going back together, and Kara gets slowed down standing in it because they didn't shoot enough coverage. And she's like, Linda had to leave, it's fine. He's like, I already told you I knew you were Linda. Oh, right.
All right.
Don't tell anyone, you idiots, especially not Superman. All right, we'll keep your secret.
And then she goes, I'll be right here.
Then she flushes herself down the toilet to her spaceship, goes back to inner space.
And I guess the day was saved.
No real establishing of that. I think she got back and found them all dead.
She found them dead because they like ate a bunch of like bad candy bars and died.
Yeah.
Like they were all expired.
Or like a kid threw a ball and ripped their tarp again.
And then Superman got back to Earth and he's like, what happened while I was gone? Like a witch?
You got hit on the head by a coconut.
Huh?
This was a really dumb movie, Phelan.
Yeah, dumb and confusing.
Stuff just happens. It just happens.
With a runtime this long, too, they have plenty of time to explain things and set things up properly, but instead they fill it with nonsense and people flying around doing nothing.
I do think it was better than Superman 4. It certainly felt like they cared a little more. I don't know if they cared that much, but more than that.
Yeah, I guess that's not saying a whole lot, but...
They didn't funnel the money from this movie into, like, Masters of the Universe to pay for it.
Yeah.
Phelan, how would you rank the Superman movies? Superman 1 through 4 and Supergirl.
Superman 4 at the top. Supergirl. Superman 3. Superman 2 and Superman 1.
Wow, bold stance, Phelan. You know what? I'm gonna echo that. In terms of enjoyability, that might be right.
Oh god, that's awful.
Anyway, as far as Supergirl goes, I thought this was like entertainingly bad. Like the plot was really stupid, but I enjoyed it. I do wish it was shorter, but I think that there's some merits to it, you know? Like it's got some like decent effects work at times.
You know what it feels like, though? It feels like a filler episode of like a Supergirl TV show if they had been making one back then. Extended out to a movie for no good reason.
Maybe in the new show they had a filler episode about this where they fight over a landscaper.
I hope so.
What? That's it for Supergirl. You feeling good about this, Phelan? You feeling good about the Popeyes and the Kellogg's, the Frosted Flakes?
I think I need to go. My home planet needs me.
Dun, 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 dun. That wasn't the theme for this movie.
No. It was the Ewoks theme. We are the Ewoks. Selena is the siren of Endor.
You gonna eat your Frosted Flakes?
Yeah, I must have some Frosted Flakes.
If I'm gonna be here eating like an idiot, I might as well be.
I'll join you on eating. This is good review material, Frosted Flakes.
Is this some good mouth sounds while we're eating?